You've been told what's healthy your whole life, but what if most of it was completely wrong? Today, we uncover the shocking truth about when was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and asked, am I truly living the life I want? Not the life that others expect from me, not the one that seems right in the eyes of society, but the one that genuinely resonates with my soul. Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers in modern psychology, left us with a lesson few dare to follow: the importance of choosing yourself, even when everything around you seems to push you in the opposite direction. We live in a world meticulously designed to distract you, to keep you trapped in routines, expectations, and an endless stream of obligations that seem unavoidable. From the moment you wake up, you are bombarded with external demands: work, family responsibilities, social norms, all dictating how you should behave, what you should strive for, and even what success should look like. But here's a truth many refuse to acknowledge. Every time you prioritize others over yourself, you are sending a silent message to your inner self that it does not matter, that its needs, desires, and truths are secondary. You are ignoring that quiet voice from deep within your subconscious, the one that persistently tries to guide you toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. Jung believed that our connection with the unconscious is not something optional. It is an essential part of who we are. Yet so many people silence it, push it aside, and choose to ignore its signals, because facing it can be uncomfortable. That feeling of unease you experience when something in your life doesn't feel right, that is not random. That is your soul speaking to you, trying to show you that something needs to change, even if the mere thought of change terrifies you. Now, take a moment and reflect. How many of the decisions you've made recently came from a place of true authenticity? And how many were driven by fear? Fear of disappointing others, fear of stepping outside the norm, fear of discomfort, or fear of breaking away from what is familiar? Jung urges us to deeply contemplate this because he understood a universal truth. Decisions not rooted in your inner truth create nothing but chaos and disconnection. The further you stray from yourself, the more lost you will feel. But let's clarify something important. Choosing yourself does not mean rejecting others. This is not about living in selfishness or disregarding the people around you. It is about recognizing that in order to give the best version of yourself to the world, you must first be at peace with yourself. This is the fundamental principle of self-love, a concept Jung explored in depth. Self-love is not a luxury. It is not an excuse to escape responsibilities. It is the foundation upon which all meaningful and authentic relationships are built. When you choose to prioritize yourself, something profound shifts in your energy. You begin to attract people and situations that are aligned with your true essence. It's as if the universe responds to your decision to live in truth, eliminating what no longer serves you and bringing forth what you truly need to grow. But to reach this state, you must first confront your shadows, the parts of yourself that you have ignored, suppressed, or feared. Jung described the shadow as the hidden aspect of our psyche, the one that contains everything we would rather not acknowledge about ourselves. And while facing your shadow can be uncomfortable, it is within this confrontation that true transformation begins. Because when you integrate your shadows, when you stop fighting against them and learn to accept them, you unlock an inner power you never imagined you had. This process of integration does not happen overnight. It requires courage, patience, and an unwavering commitment to understanding yourself. But what you gain in return is invaluable: clarity, the ability to see beyond the illusions you once believed in; purpose, a renewed sense of direction and meaning in your life; inner peace, a calm so profound that no external chaos can shake it. You gain the ability to say no to what does not align with you, without guilt, without fear, and without worrying about the judgment of others. But most importantly, you gain the freedom to be who you truly are. That'll change how you see your body forever. If what you just heard hit different, you need to see what comes next. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single chapter. And if this resonates with you, smash that like. It helps us reach more people. Which health hack did you follow that turned out to be completely wrong? Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to hear what you think.
You've contemplated the chaos that takes root when you stray from your inner truth, the gnawing feeling of being lost. But here's a crucial clarification, one that often gets twisted. Choosing yourself is not an act of rejection. It's not about abandoning others or plunging into selfishness. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's a profound realization that to offer the very best version of yourself to the world, to your loved ones, to your purpose, you must first cultivate a profound peace within your own being. This, Carl Jung taught us, is the fundamental principle of self-love. It's not a luxury. It's not an escape clause from responsibility. It is the bedrock upon which all meaningful, authentic relationships are ultimately built. When you finally make that conscious choice to prioritize yourself, something remarkable begins to unfold. There's a palpable shift in your energy. You start to attract people, opportunities, and situations that resonate with your deepest essence. It's as if the universe itself responds to your decision to live in truth. It begins to gracefully, almost effortlessly, eliminate what no longer serves you. It ushers in precisely what you need to truly grow. But to reach this profound state of alignment, you must first confront your shadows. These are the ignored, suppressed, or feared parts of yourself. Jung described the shadow as that hidden aspect of our psyche, the repository of everything we'd rather not acknowledge about who we are. And yes, facing it can be deeply uncomfortable. It demands courage. It asks you to look into the very corners you've spent a lifetime avoiding. Yet, it is within this very confrontation, in this uncomfortable space, that true transformation ignites. When you integrate your shadows, when you cease fighting against them and learn to embrace them, you unlock an inner power you never even knew you possessed. This isn't an overnight process. It requires patience, an unwavering commitment to understanding yourself, and a quiet, tenacious bravery. But what you gain in return is immeasurable. Clarity, the ability to see beyond the illusions you once believed. Purpose, a renewed sense of direction, a compelling meaning in your life. Inner peace, a calm so profound that no external chaos can ever truly shake it. You gain the strength to say no to what doesn't align with your soul, without guilt, without fear, without agonizing over others' judgment. Most importantly, you gain the undeniable freedom to be who you truly are. You might be asking now, how do I even begin this journey? The answer, profound in its simplicity, is this: start by listening to yourself. Every time you feel that flicker of discomfort, that whisper of uncertainty, that unexpected surge of emotion, pause. Ask your deepest self, what is my unconscious trying to tell me right now? Because, as Jung famously said, the answers you seek externally are already within you. You just need the courage to listen and the determination to finally act accordingly.
One of the hardest things we do in life is listen to our intuition, especially when it leads us down a path that challenges everything we've built. Maybe it's a relationship you know is no longer working. Maybe it's a job that drains you but feels impossible to leave. Perhaps it's a dream you've been chasing simply because it seemed like the right thing to do in the eyes of others. Jung reminds us that ignoring these signals is not a sign of strength. It is a denial of our true essence. To truly choose yourself is to have the courage to let go of what no longer resonates with you. And that, admittedly, is not always easy. We cling to the familiar because change is terrifying. We convince ourselves that better the devil you know than the one you don't. But Jung challenges us to see change not as an ending, but as a doorway to a more authentic version of ourselves. So take a moment and think, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What relationships, beliefs, or habits are you maintaining out of fear? You may feel that letting go of certain people or situations would be a loss. But the real loss happens when you sacrifice your inner peace just to hold on to something that no longer has meaning. The choice is always yours. And perhaps the most important question you can ask yourself right now is, am I ready to truly choose myself? Because when you finally make that conscious decision, when you truly say yes to yourself, something truly magical begins to unfold. It's as if a fog that had been clouding your vision starts to lift. And for the first time in a long time, you see things with crystalline clarity. The people who genuinely support you remain by your side.
While those who only drained your energy, those who never truly valued you, they simply begin to fade away. And this is no coincidence. It is the direct reflection of an internal transformation, an alignment between your inner world and your external reality. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, the mysterious yet undeniable connection between your thoughts, your emotions, and the circumstances that unfold in your life. When you begin to live in alignment with your truth, your external world shifts to mirror that transformation. It is as if the universe responds to your authenticity by reshaping your environment to match it. However, this profound process requires something many people find incredibly difficult: radical honesty with yourself. Choosing yourself isn't just about making bold decisions or setting firm boundaries. Sometimes it also means acknowledging uncomfortable truths about your past. Perhaps you've made choices that were not a true reflection of who you really are. Maybe you allowed people to overstep your boundaries, sacrificing your own well-being to please them. You might have said yes to things you knew you should have rejected, out of fear of disappointing others. But here's the important part. This is not a reason to judge yourself. Instead, it is an opportunity, an invitation to learn, recalibrate, and to make a different choice moving forward. Jung believed that authenticity is not a destination. It is a continuous journey. It is a process of learning, evolving, and growing into the truest version of yourself. And on this path, you will face resistance.
You felt it, haven't you? That subtle shift in the air when you finally stand in your truth. You begin to notice a peculiar harmony unfolding around you. It's as if the entire fabric of existence begins to bend to align with your newfound purpose. Suddenly, what once felt impossibly out of reach now appears effortlessly within your grasp. This isn't magic. Carl Jung called it synchronicity. More than mere coincidence, it's the mysterious, undeniable connection between your inner state and the circumstances that manifest in your life. When you commit to living in alignment with your deepest truth, your external world doesn't just adapt, it transforms to mirror that authenticity. Doors open, the right people appear at the perfect moment, and opportunities you never imagined begin to flow. But here's a crucial insight that few truly grasp. This path isn't always a smooth, effortless glide. In fact, some of the greatest challenges arise precisely when you decide to choose yourself. It's as if the world, so accustomed to the version of you that aimed to please everyone else, suddenly resists your transformation. It tries to pull you back. You might feel the weight of external expectations pushing against you, testing your commitment. The old doubts will come, familiar fears will surface, and the temptation to return to what is known and comfortable will be incredibly strong. This is where your true power lies. Every time you reaffirm your decision, every time you prioritize your inner peace over external demands, you are strengthening the very connection with your authentic self. The key is to remain steadfast, even when uncertainty creeps in. It's completely natural to feel fear when leaving behind the known, even if you're aware it no longer serves you. But remember this: every time you choose to stay in a place that no longer brings you joy, you are inadvertently closing the door to something that could profoundly transform your life. Jung taught us that change never occurs without resistance. That friction, that discomfort, isn't a sign you're making a mistake. It's proof that you are moving forward. It is the necessary tension between who you were and who you are becoming. So, how do you navigate this resistance? Through deep, unwavering self-reflection. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? What is most important to me at my core? What kind of life genuinely resonates with my soul? When you gain clarity about these fundamental questions, it becomes significantly easier to make decisions that align with them. And as you do, you begin to attract people and circumstances that resonate with that same powerful energy. The world around you shifts in response to your inner alignment. It's also crucial to remember that you are never truly alone on this journey. While choosing yourself might feel like a solitary act at first, in reality, you are forging a path that will naturally draw the right people toward you. Those who will support you, celebrate you, and walk alongside you. These individuals will never require you to change in order to fit into their lives. They will embrace you exactly as you are, because they too have chosen to live in alignment with their own truth. When you reach this point, something inside you shifts forever.
Life no longer feels like an endless struggle. The decisions that once seemed overwhelming now come with undeniable clarity and quiet confidence. And most importantly, you discover a sense of peace that is no longer dependent on external circumstances. Because as Jung taught us, true peace can only come from within. That inner peace is the natural, beautiful result of honoring your needs, respecting your boundaries, and living in full alignment with your values. But this profound peace is more than just a personal gift. It becomes something you can share with the world. When you live authentically, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon of light for those who are still searching for their own path. And in this process, you don't merely transform your own life, you create a ripple effect that profoundly impacts everyone around you.
You stand at the precipice. That profound, daunting decision to step away from the familiar, however unfulfilling, and embrace the terrifying unknown has brought you here. You've chosen a path less trodden, a path whispered by your soul. But what happens when the world, so accustomed to the version of you that aimed to please everyone else, suddenly resists your transformation? What happens when the currents that once guided you now push back with surprising force, trying to pull you into the shadows of your old patterns? This is where the real test begins. Jung taught us that change does not occur without resistance. It's an unavoidable part of any true awakening. You might feel the weight of external expectations pressing down, heavier than ever before. The doubts will come, insidious whispers questioning every choice. Fears will surface, ancient and primal, tempting you to retreat to the comfortable cage of what was. The temptation to return to the familiar simply because it feels safe will be incredibly strong. But understand this, that resistance is not a sign that you are making a mistake. Quite the opposite. It is proof. Proof that you are moving forward. It is the friction between the old and the new, the tension between who you were conditioned to be and who you are authentically becoming. Imagine the mighty oak tree. It doesn't grow by clinging to its sapling form. It must push against the earth, break through the surface, and withstand countless storms to reach its full height. Your growth is no different. Every time you reaffirm your decision, every time you prioritize your inner peace over external demands, you are strengthening the connection with your true self. You are laying down deeper roots. The key here is unwavering steadfastness. Even when uncertainty creeps in, even when the path ahead seems shrouded in mist. It is completely natural to feel fear when leaving behind the known, even if deep down you are aware that it no longer serves you. But remember this truth, a truth many choose to ignore. Every time you choose to stay in a place that no longer brings you joy, you are closing the door. You are closing the door to something that could profoundly transform you. You are sacrificing your potential for comfort. One of the most powerful ways to overcome this profound resistance is through deep, relentless self-reflection. Ask yourself, with radical honesty, what do I truly value? What is most important to me deep in my bones? What kind of life authentically do I want to build? When you gain undeniable clarity about your core values and your deepest goals, it becomes significantly easier to make decisions that align with them. This clarity becomes your compass, your shield, your North Star. And as you consistently choose in alignment with your authentic self, something profound happens. You begin to attract people and circumstances that resonate with that same energy. The world around you doesn't just react to your inner alignment, it shifts to meet it. You are not alone on this journey, even though it may feel solitary at first. In reality, you are forging a path that will naturally draw the right people toward you. Those who will support you, celebrate your courage, and walk alongside you, not because they need you to fit into their lives, but because they value you exactly as you are. Because they too have chosen to live in alignment with their own truth. When you reach this point, something inside you changes forever. Life no longer feels like an endless struggle.
The decisions that once seemed overwhelming now come with a quiet clarity, a deep confidence that settles in your soul. And most importantly, you discover a sense of peace that is no longer dependent on external circumstances. Because, as Jung taught us, true peace can only come from within. It is the natural, undeniable result of honoring your needs, respecting your boundaries, and living in full, unapologetic alignment with your values. This isn't just a personal gift. It is a profound offering you can share with the world. When you live authentically, you don't just change your own life. You inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon of light for those who are still searching for their own path, lost in the shadows of expectation. And in this process, you create a ripple effect, a transformative wave that profoundly impacts everyone around you. This is the power of steadfast authenticity.
The immense weight of external expectations can often push against you, attempting to draw you back into old patterns. Doubts will arise, fears will surface, and the temptation to revert to the familiar, even if it no longer serves you, will be incredibly strong. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that your true power resides. Each time you reaffirm your decision and prioritize your inner peace over external demands, you strengthen the connection with your authentic self. It's completely natural to experience fear when leaving behind the known, even if you are deeply aware it no longer brings you joy. However, remember this profound truth. By choosing to stay in a place that no longer serves you, you simultaneously close the door to something that could profoundly transform your entire life. Carl Jung, with his timeless wisdom, taught that true change does not occur without resistance. This resistance, far from being a sign of error, is irrefutable proof that you are moving forward. It is the necessary friction between the old and the new, the inevitable tension between who you once were and who you are powerfully becoming. One of the most potent ways to navigate this resistance is through deep, uncompromising self-reflection. Ask yourself with brutal honesty, what do I truly value above all else? What is most important to me right now? What kind of authentic life do I truly want to build? As you gain profound clarity about your deepest values and highest goals, it becomes significantly easier to make decisions that align with them. A magnetic shift then occurs. You begin to attract people and circumstances that resonate with your energy, and the world around you, in a mysterious yet undeniable way, starts to shift in direct response to your inner alignment. It is also crucial to remember that you are never truly alone on this journey. While choosing yourself may initially feel like a solitary act, in reality, you are forging a unique path that will naturally draw the right people toward you. These are individuals who will genuinely support, celebrate, and courageously walk alongside you. They won't require you to change to fit into their lives. Instead, they will embrace you exactly as you are, precisely because they too have chosen to live in alignment with their own truth. When you reach this profound point, something within you changes forever. Life no longer feels like an endless uphill struggle. Decisions that once seemed overwhelming now arrive with startling clarity and unshakable confidence. Most importantly, you discover a sense of peace no longer dependent on external circumstances, for as Jung taught us, true, lasting peace can only come from within. This inner peace is not merely a personal gift. It is the natural, radiant result of honoring your deepest needs, respecting your non-negotiable boundaries, and living in full, unapologetic alignment with your values. Moreover, it is something you can profoundly share with the world. By living authentically, you become a living beacon, inspiring others to do the same. Your courage serves as a guiding light for those still searching for their own path, navigating their own shadows. Through this powerful process, you don't just transform your own life. You create a ripple effect that profoundly impacts everyone around you. Take a single moment right now to imagine what your life could truly be like if you finally let go of everything that no longer serves your highest good. How would you feel if you released relationships that drain your precious energy, commitments that don't resonate with your soul, and expectations you never truly wanted to fulfill? Picture the boundless freedom, the incredible lightness, the crystal clear clarity you could experience. This is not an unattainable dream, but a very real possibility, fully within your reach. All it requires is the unwavering willingness to choose yourself. When you make this choice, you begin to see that you aren't losing anything by letting go of what no longer aligns with you. On the contrary, you are making sacred space for what truly matters, crafting a life that not only makes profound sense, but also fills you with purpose and overflowing joy. This, my friend, in itself is a transformation worth embracing.
Perhaps a book, a conversation, or even a video like this one that reaches you at the exact moment you need it most. These are not mere coincidences, scattered moments of luck. No, they are profound signs, unmistakable signals from the universe, confirming with a quiet certainty that you are indeed on the path meant for you. Every winding road, every brave decision, every single challenge you have faced and overcome has, in its own mysterious way, meticulously led you here, to this very instant, to this profound understanding. And though the future may still seem uncertain, there is one undeniable truth that anchors you. As long as you continue to consciously, courageously choose yourself, you will be building a life that is truly, deeply worth living. Think of the greatest gift you could ever unwrap, a treasure beyond measure. It isn't external wealth or fleeting fame. It is the unwavering courage to be unapologetically you. Not the carefully constructed version of yourself that others expect, not the persona you've perfected just to fit in. No, it is your purest, most raw essence, the authentic you that exists when no one else is watching, vibrant and true. Carl Jung, with his profound wisdom, revealed a truth often overlooked. The true work of life doesn't lie in endlessly searching outside of ourselves for answers or validation. Instead, it's about courageously unraveling the deep, ancient mysteries that reside within. And when you finally make that conscious, monumental choice to embrace your entire self, a profound, undeniable realization dawns. Everything you have ever searched for, every piece of missing piece has always been within you, a treasure waiting to be unearthed. This isn't merely a reflection, this is a call to action, a sacred invitation. Life, in its breathtaking brevity, is far too precious to remain trapped in the relentless need for external validation, far too short to ignore the quiet yearning of your own desires, to silence the vibrant pulse of your dreams just to meet the fleeting expectations of others. The time to take that first brave step is not tomorrow, but now. The moment to confront your deepest fears, to acknowledge your complex shadows, and to finally listen to the quiet, insistent whispers of your intuition, that moment is today. The reconnection with your true, magnificent self is right here, waiting in front of you. Life truly begins the moment you decide to choose yourself. But what does it mean to sustain that choice? What does it look like, day after day, to live unapologetically from that place of inner truth? While the initial decision is profound, the journey that follows demands something more. It demands relentless courage. The world, so accustomed to the version of you that aimed to please everyone else, will inevitably resist your transformation and test your commitment. You will feel the weight of external expectations pushing against you, trying to pull you back into old patterns. Doubts will come, fears will surface, and the temptation to return to what is familiar simply because it feels comfortable will be incredibly strong. Yet precisely here is where your true power lies. Every single time you reaffirm your decision to choose yourself, every time you prioritize your inner peace over external demands, you are strengthening the connection with your authentic self. You are building an unshakable foundation. It is completely natural to feel fear when leaving behind the known, even if you are acutely aware that it no longer serves you. We cling to comfort, even when that comfort stifles our very soul. As Carl Jung taught us, change does not occur without resistance. That resistance is not a sign that you are making a mistake. It is proof that you are moving forward. It represents the friction between the old and the new, the tension between who you were and who you are becoming. Embrace it. One of the most powerful ways to overcome this resistance is through deep, consistent self-reflection. Ask yourself, again and again, what do I truly value? What is most important to me? What kind of life do I genuinely want to build? When you gain unwavering clarity about your values and goals, it becomes significantly easier to make decisions that align with them. As you do, you begin to attract people, circumstances, and opportunities that resonate with that same powerful energy. The world around you shifts, subtly but powerfully, in response to your inner alignment. It's also crucial to remember that you are not alone on this journey. While choosing yourself may feel like a solitary act at first, in reality, you are forging a path that will naturally draw the right people toward you, those who will support, celebrate, and walk alongside you. These individuals will not require you to change in order to fit into their lives. They will embrace you exactly as you are, because they too have chosen to live in alignment with their truth. When you reach this point, something inside you changes forever. Life no longer feels like an endless struggle. The decisions that once seemed overwhelming now come with clarity and confidence. Most importantly, you discover a sense of peace that is no longer dependent on external circumstances, because, as Jung taught us, true peace can only come from within. That inner peace is the natural result of honoring your needs, respecting your boundaries, and living in full alignment with your values. But it is more than just a personal gift. It is something you can share with the world. When you live authentically, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon of light for those who are still searching for their own path. In this process, you do not merely transform your own life, you create a ripple effect that profoundly impacts those around you. Take a moment to imagine what your life could be like if you let go of everything that no longer serves you. How would you feel if you release the relationships that drain your energy, the commitments that do not resonate with your soul, and the expectations you never truly wanted to fulfill? Picture the freedom, the lightness, the clarity you could experience. This is not an unattainable dream. It is a real possibility, fully within your reach. All it requires is the willingness to choose yourself. When you make this choice, you begin to see that you are not losing anything by letting go of what no longer aligns with you. On the contrary, you are making space for what truly matters. You are crafting a life that not only makes sense, but also fills you with purpose and joy. And that, in itself, is a transformation worth embracing.
When you consistently align with that deep inner truth, something truly profound happens. It's as if the universe, having witnessed your unwavering commitment, begins to conspire in your favor. Suddenly, doors that were once firmly shut swing open. Opportunities you only dreamed of appear, often from unexpected directions. The right people, the right moments, everything begins to flow with an effortless synchronicity that feels less like luck and more like destiny. This isn't magic, nor is it a trick of the mind. It is the palpable result of your inner world finally harmonizing with your outer reality. Carl Jung understood this as the external manifestation of an internal transformation. When you become your authentic self, the world around you must adjust to match that frequency. You are not just changing your life, you are reshaping your entire experience of existence. You are literally stepping into a new reality. But this path, this incredible shift, is rarely without its challenges. In fact, some of the greatest tests will emerge precisely when you decide to truly choose yourself. The world, so accustomed to the version of you that aimed to please, that conformed, will resist. Old doubts will resurface. Fears you thought conquered will whisper tempting promises of familiarity. It's like a ship changing course against strong currents. There will be turbulence. This resistance, however, is not a sign of error. Jung taught us it's often proof you are moving forward, shedding the old skin, making space for the magnificent new. To navigate these currents, you must anchor yourself in unwavering self-reflection. Ask yourself, profoundly and honestly, what truly resonates with my soul right now? What are the core values that define my authentic path? The more clarity you gain on these deepest questions, the easier it becomes to stand firm, to say no to what drains you, and an enthusiastic yes to what fuels your spirit. Remember, the greatest gift you can ever give yourself is to be unapologetically you.
Not the version others expect, not the one you created to fit in, but your purest, most vibrant essence. Carl Jung once revealed that the true work of life does not lie in searching outside of ourselves, but in unraveling the deep mysteries that reside within. And when you finally make the conscious choice to embrace yourself, you come to a profound realization. Everything you are searching for has always been within you. This is more than a message, it's a call to action. Life is far too short to remain trapped in the need for external validation, to ignore your desires, to silence your dreams. The time to take that first courageous step is now. The moment to reconnect with your true self is right in front of you. Because when you choose yourself, you do more than transform your own life. Your energy shifts, your perspective expands, and your very presence begins to inspire those who cross your path. Now, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, what part of this message resonated most deeply with your heart? What steps are you willing to take today to choose yourself, to honor your true essence? Every word you share matters, not just to me, but to everyone else on this shared journey, seeking their own truth and clarity. If this video has resonated with you, don't let its impact stop here. Share it with someone who might need to hear these words, someone searching for their own moment of clarity. Every like, every share, every comment helps this message reach more people who, just like you, are searching for a deeper connection with their true selves. Imagine the impact we can create together, a community committed to living from a place of authenticity, courage, and self-acceptance. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you never miss another message like this. Together, we can bring this reflection to every corner, to every person who needs to be reminded that the greatest power of all lies in the simple yet profound act of choosing to be who you truly are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But above all, thank you for being part of this movement, this awakening, this shared journey towards self-discovery. Never forget, you are not alone. Change begins with you. And the world desperately needs more people with the courage to embrace their authentic selves. I'll see you in the next video, and always remember, life truly begins the moment you decide to choose yourself.